us. Again, it's another beautiful day here from the nation's capital, Monrovia. It is always our pleasure. Sometimes we are out and about in the countryside, bringing you projects and programs of His Excellency Dr. George Manning Weah. We're taking our viewership and bringing you more information from different perspectives as in respect to the workings of government, especially projects and programs of His Excellency the President of this country. You've been following us for the last few weeks. We've gone to the counties in the southeast. We brought you projects relating to the construction of the new Redemption Hospital under this administration. You've been following us on the road and bringing you projects and programs taking place on the road in communities and what have you. Today, we are not on the road, but rather we are indoor, and we've come to talk a lot more about governance. This administration, under the stewardship of His Excellency Dr. George Manning Weah, came to power on many different campaign promises. They've gone nearly 2 years, a few months into their administration now, and there are a lot more taking place that we're out to talk about. Today we've come to talk to the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, of course, Chief of Staff in the Office of the President. He's no strange name because he's one of the most talked about in this administration of Dr. George Manning Weah. It is my pleasure to talk to Minister Nathaniel Farlo McGill. Thanks for joining us. This is our first interaction since the COVID, and we are so happy that we have you here with us today. Welcome to our executive mansion feed.
Thank you very much, Smith. It's been a pleasure. Let me use this opportunity to say thanks to the hard-working team of the Press Bureau of the Ministry of State. I know it's a challenge during this difficult time to be out there informing our people, which our people need information. I'd like to use this time also to extend my sympathy to the family of Honorable Nambiswa, who lost his life last night. And it's very tough. On behalf of the President and the government, I want to say sorry to the family. I want to extend a special condolence message to the Speaker, a member of the legislature for this great loss, and to also to Liberians who have lost their lives to the deadly virus COVID during this difficult time of our existence as a people and as a country.
Okay, so a way to go, and it's actually going very well with us, making sure that our people out there can get all of the necessary information as it relates to the government of the day. Let's first start from where you sit as the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. In time past, there have been ministers in that position. I'm not sure they've been talked about the way Liberians and other people in different parts of the world talked about your position as a Minister of State. Tell us about what exactly are you responsible for as a Minister of State?
Firstly, let me use this opportunity to extend thanks to the President for giving me the opportunity to serve in this position. Before coming to the Minister of State, I was the chairman of the Congress for Democratic Change, and I worked very closely with the President. A lot of people don't know the President, and sometimes you never know people until you get close to them. There's so much assumption out there. The President cannot work with this person, the President cannot do this. You will not know the reality until you get close to know the true person that you're talking about. So the President gave me an opportunity to serve as former chairman of the party. We've been very close. I think the President followed my work ethics. Before I became minister, a lot of people would say, oh, McGill can make it, McGill not able to job. But McGill the minister, now everybody talking about McGill. But I can understand. There are two reasons why you see a lot of people talk about me. Firstly, I was chairman of the party. The President gave me a responsibility. And as the chairman, because the special confidence of the President in my function or my ability to do what he wants me to do, my party people have expectation also. They think they should be in government. They have a fair reason to say that, because I believe that when a party takes power, its membership will be served, you know. And I think Sedition deserves to be in the government, and the time is coming where Sedition will continue to play more active role, because this is your government. But at the same time, you have to realize that when you win power, you don't only represent one segment of the society, you represent the entire country. So under the Constitution, every Liberian have a right to have a job regardless of their party affiliation. So as the government, you have to also protect that aspect of the Constitution by making sure Liberians who are qualified, regardless of political affiliation, they have a role to play. But at the same time, because it's all politics, you have to realize that, yeah, they are Liberian, because one Liberian is not better than another person. The law said, give Liberian people jobs. So seditions are also Liberian. But people also have to protect party philosophy. Unfortunately, in Africa, there's a tendency that people believe that because I'm not part of you and you won an election, I'm supporting you, therefore I would not do my professional piece of job. I would try to be partisan that could undermine the system. And that would make partisans from the other side who will get upset because they think that they have something to protect, and other people who would not have the privilege to serve who want to undermine that. And so therefore in Africa, these things play. And so a lot of people look in that direction. People complain, McGill, it's just because the president is confident. Two, you got to understand, I have two jobs. I'm a minister of state, and it seems I'm the chief of staff to the president. My responsibility to manage the president's office and ensure that the president's agenda is met. Meaning I have to make sure that all cabinet officials who work for the president do exactly what the president wants. And sometimes I'm a guy who bring the good news. I'm also the guy who carry the bad news, because if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, obviously I will deliver the bad news to you. And so you believe me. When I give you the good news, you are happy. When I bring the bad news, you are not happy. But that's part of my job. So it's a tough job, but I love it, because my responsibility is I'm a shaka shovel. I take the weight, and so that's my job. So once you assume that responsibility, you got to know that you're not going to be the good guy, because you'll get some good news and bad news for your colleagues, and your colleagues may not like that. They will see you as the bad person. Then there are other people who believe that you, because you are the gateway to the presidency, and you must ensure that they get job. They too say they don't have job, they're not going to like you too much. They're going to criticize you because they think you are blocking them. But you see, the jobs are not many that the president can give everyone. Why the president will love this president? I'm telling you, and people may not believe it. Since you've been around, if the president had 2 million jobs or 5 million jobs, every Liberian will have something to do. The man is so concerned about this country. He goes to bed and he gets out thinking about the people, not because of himself. You know, he's just thinking about the people every day. So he wants to deliver. So the Minister of State's job is to be the gatekeeper between the president and the legislature, the president and the executive. Things coming to the president's office got to come to you. Directly coming from the president will pass through you. You have to make sure that those who work for the president will deliver on their commitment and their promises. Because once you deliver for the president, you deliver for the country, because the president has a responsibility. He was elected by the people. The people have confidence in the president. They gave him a responsibility to work for them. And the president hired people to assist him. And so therefore we have to make sure that those are delivered. So
you know, reading between your job and the way in which you describe the sort of job that you do in the government, from the party level to the staffers in the president's office, communicating between the president and his cabinet and that of the national legislature, tells me that it comes with a lot of pressure. How have you managed in that position to absorb all of those pressures, with even the bad names, the good side of it, and the difficulties in getting some of this communication out there?
Well, you know, it sometimes it can be tough, because as a human being, when you get up in the morning You hear a whole lot of negativity, but I take my courage from the president. The president says to me, McGill, you have to realize one thing, that you have to focus on what you want to do or what the government wants to do and let deliver on it. Because that is why the people elected are for. Don't worry about the pressure that comes from others. Don't worry about the accusation, because it will be difficult to satisfy everybody, because everybody have their own persuasion, everybody have their own reason why they'll be making allegations. There are people who, I don't care, you turn Monrovia to Jerusalem or you turn Monrovia to heaven, say we have not seen heaven. Our perception of heaven is the most beautiful place somewhere in existence. But I don't care how you make it beautiful, there will be people who will still criticize you because other people want you to fail. Just so they can come. So they will never see good in any good you do. But you have to realize that, look, you have a time to serve. And when you are serving, you have to do what is right. The challenge is, especially with the president, because he wants to do almost everything right. But it's not humanly possible as a human being to do everything right. Meaning he wants for everybody to be happy. But it's not possible for everybody to be happy. So he just got to do what he's able to do. But so people will not be happy. But he's focused on that. And being the person who has to assist him get to our colleagues, the other cabinet members, the entire government to achieve that, sometimes it can be tough. But sometimes we appreciate it because it's a training. And when you get to a man, look, leaders give their supporters courage. Sometimes because of the determination of the leader, it make the followers to be committed. And so because I work for him and I know the desire he has, so I'm not very focused on, sometimes I just close my ears to all the criticism. I hear a whole lot of things people say.
So sometimes it's difficult to actually close your ears because it also reflect on your character. Every time the government talked about reshuffle, people talk corruption, people make allegations, people look for the bad people in the government, this name of yours that always suffers. How does that play with the reality of the job?
The reality is, I don't play with money. I don't sign contract. If you go somewhere and find out McGill sign contract, McGill play with money, fire me. Nobody can point to anything that McGill and take money. They can't point to anything. But it's a label that people have. And this label went back to years. 1980, when the coup took place, they executed 13 men on the poll. They said rampant corruption. But the truth is, someone when they go check their account, they don't even have money. But all the perception, when you're in government, you corrupt. Once you are in government, you corrupt. Quite recently, the people were condemning officials of Mr. Salif, how they were corrupt, how they were dead. Today, they're not even calling, as soon as they left power, people not calling their name again. The first group of people start calling Nathaniel McGill. People not even get McGill corrupt, the president corrupt. Sometimes it hurts, but that is the country we live in. It's the country we live in. So people accuse you of corruption when they can't find anything of corruption. Let me give you an example. And this is private, but I will talk about it a little bit because I've been very close to the president. The president started building a compound before we won election. A compound where they get the 14 horses. He started building a compound before we won election. The president said, look, first people got to ask, how did the president run the election? He never used rock. The president ran an effective election. He was not in power, Senator. He spent millions of dollars to win an election. We brought private jet. The president was flying private jet to go around the world. The president brought plane and helicopter and ran an effective campaign and won the ruling party. But you didn't see somebody say the first day the man got in power, the man corrupt. That government money, how come? The man started building his project before we won. As soon as he won, somebody said, why is he building a project? No, he has a right to do it. Not government money, you can't go say, where is it? Nobody, I challenge anyone to prove, if you can prove that I resign from the government, to go prove that the president stole money. Anyone who can prove that I resign today from the government, anybody will bring proof to it, and by the president sign for it, or the president get authority to sign a deal and he get a concession, he got so money from it. If you do it, I resign from the government today.
But why do you think people always?
Because that it's just negative propaganda led by the opposition. The opposition believes the only thing they can do, and they tell me most of the time, they say, look, the only way we can beat the president is to continue to lie on him.
They tell you that?
Of course, someone tell me frankly, they say, man, we told you, you know, like brothers, small community, we know each other.
Okay.
We know each other, opposition, we know, we are all friends. So they say, man, we can beat the man too public, we can be into lie on him, continue to lie on him, and make the public believe that the man is the man stealing money. And because, because of the difficulties in the country, a lot of people will tend to blame the government for everything. And sometimes it is understandable, because when everybody has something to do, they wouldn't blame the all-powerful institution, which is the government. I'll just give you an example. They were blaming American and $13 million law. They were doing this. Rawat Salib. Oh yeah, nobody talk about Rawat Salib today. Nobody talk about Rawat Salib. But whether it's true Rawat Salib did it, maybe you can establish it. But because they were there, people were accusing. Now we are there. I want time for people to be accusing you. Whether we do or not, people were accused of. Somebody was there stealing money, but nobody can prove that it was stolen money. Or you have to make corrupt. You will not even ask them, Toby, why you think if the minister judge about it, why are they fighting to come in the position? They say we're corrupt, but they won't come there. Someone is not corrupt, but they lay now in America, they're living in $500,000. How they paying it? Nobody know. Is you blind? Are you blackmailing people? So these things people continue to say, but that should not distract you. What you should keep your focus on. And every time I speak to me, I'm not saying it because I'm a minister of state. I'm saying it because I get a courage from a man who came from the ghetto. Toby, our courage is we are poor people children. We understand the suffering of our parents. We understand our own suffering. So we want to make a difference. We're not here because we want anything for ourselves. But the reality is, as the minister, I will not be dead. As the minister of state who represent the country, I represent an image of Liberia. And nobody expects me to make Liberia look so bad. You know what I'm saying? I can make Liberia bad.
But the critics that you are referencing think that this change was sort of abrupt.
Which change?
The change around those in administration.
But there's no abrupt change.
And those are the things that we reference.
There's no abrupt change, Toby. This is a simple reality, Toby. Okay. Today you laying on the mayor president of Liberia, you want all to come back and see you laying on in this looking dirty or because you're president of Liberia. That's not correct. As president of Liberia, you have some immunities. As president of the country, you have immunities. When you become president of any country, you are a symbol of that state. You represent 5 million people. The country needs to pay you and make you look good. Our friends in Nigeria, my Nigerian friends, the senators, the representatives, when they make you senator, the government gave you money just for you to dress. They call it wardrobe allowance, just for you to wear clothes.
But we don't have it here.
No, because if you do it here, you know the people will cry. People say, no money here. People are crying. But they gave you to look good because you're representing the state. You must always look good. So nobody's going to bring you down because you're looking good. But yeah, in Liberia, if you look good, your friend will start criticizing you. You know what I'm saying? So these are the challenges that come with the job, but we have to face them.
On the overall, the administration came to power for many different reasons. You campaigned through the 15 political subdivision of our country. You won a very big election with 14 counties giving you the numbers. You started on a very rough footing. The president have admitted on the sort of economy that he inherited, and you are still in a bouncing stage. Not many Liberians think that you are doing very well in terms of the performance, the campaign promises. But from the way you see it and from the effort of the president, how can you put into perspective what you inherited as a government coming in to where you are as the current administrator?
Well, I think progress has been made, but a lot to be done. President, we made progress, a lot to be done. Before coming to power, you imagine that this country was run by your international community. For instance, the UN alone was spending around $5 billion in Liberia. $5 billion. You have so many NGOs in this country. Let me take just a simple example. There were 2,000 health workers who were being paid by Prevail, an NGO, the Nigerian NGO, paying them during the whole of Mrs. Salih's administration. As soon as we took power, the UN left, everybody left this country. Even the security component of the country were now on the shoulder of this government. We lost all the income, the number of jobs that were created by the UN presence in Liberia, everything went. People whom that were being rented by the UN, those people lost their income. Liberians that were employed by the UN, they all lost their income. The NGOs that were in the country, they all left, they all lost their income because now they said the country is now on its own. What the president did, the government absorbed the 2,000 workers. The payroll for the 2,000 workers alone was $11 million. You had to accommodate now. So all the additional budget support that were coming and all the additional funding that was serving as a complementary effort to the government in terms of salary and all of things, those money were gone. Now the government has to now look at its own performance in terms of its domestic revenue generation to now begin to support the government. So it was tough. It was extremely tough. And anybody coming into government would have felt that pinch. Then we ran into the issue of the $16 billion library.
The last $16 billion.
Yeah, last $16 billion. This whole issue of $16 billion. It began annoying.
Was it an added distraction for your administration?
It was very early. Well, you know, as the new government coming, I think it was just in our first few months.
Yeah.
So something we didn't even know. The president had not even been briefed about the performance of the central bank, and all the information started coming out. All people say $16 billion. We printed the last administration. But as a government, responsible.
Even some of you were being accused.
Of course, but that was my first time. Even the president was the first time. The president never even got briefing from the outgoing central bank governor at the time. Not all got briefing. But this is part of the responsibility. When you're in government, every shot that comes, you got to take it. Because people expect you to be the one to take it. So we have to confront that. And luckily for us, we thank God that we're able to let the world know that we had no role to play. But the government, our responsibility was to keep the country stable. Then we have this strong inflation. The U.S. Liberian rates started going on. People started getting challenged. But we're thankful for the leadership of the president and everybody was being able to stabilize. Now we're in an army program. We're being able to stabilize the situation after 2.5 years. And now we're making progress. But let me go back. You know, when the president was running for president, the president says few things. The president said, look, we cannot deliver on everything because there are so many things that our citizens want, but it's not possible for us to achieve all in 6 years. But a certain basic thing we have to do in the president campaign on those things. And that's the reason why I think every day I challenge any of my friends in the opposition to bring the president campaign messages and play them and be specific on the issue as to which one of the president campaign promise that he made continuously in the campaign and now he has not done it or is doing it or has started doing some. For instance, one of the major things the president campaign was the issue of WIAC. The Liberian students were going around begging and not having time to say WIAC, and the government should assume responsibility. When the president came, he delivered on that. Currently, no student pay WIAC fees. The president said a lot of poor Liberian children don't have the time, opportunity to go to University of Liberia because they cannot even afford their tuition. As a result, the university record was they were raised almost 12,000 persons, but only 8,000 will be able to complete the process of registration. Even at 8,000, sometimes the number will drop to even 6,000 because people don't have money to pay their tuition. The president has changed that situation. Today, instead of 8,000 people going to university, we now having 20,000 persons. Poor people, children, 20,000 people now going to university. Meaning, we now get more graduates from the university than ever before in the history of our country. The president has changed that. That is an achievement. We are beginning from somewhere. The next thing now is More people graduating, we got to begin to find opportunity for them to do something for their livelihood. But that is a step that we are beginning. Can we achieve all now? It's not possible. Are we making effort in that direction? Yes, it is possible. We are making effort. So people accuse you, they want you to do everything, but it's not possible you can do everything. But you got to face the reality. There are tough times. Things are tough, yes. But we're going to change all in 6 years. We may not be able to change everything in 6 years, but we're making progress to make sure that hopefully, and God willing, when the president ends his second term, hopefully when the Liberian people get a second mandate, they end his second term, he would have been able to achieve more. For instance, the road, you'll be on the road.
I was just about to draft you to road.
You'll be on the road. Look, but it's a cardinal issue of the president. So Toby, every time the president says we want to change the agricultural situation in this country, the reality is you're not going to change it if you don't have roads. Look at the Southeast today. You can't even drive to the Southeast. Nima County is one of the bread basket of Liberia. Lofa County. A lot of concessions are in Nima. But if you're a farmer living in Nima or in Nigeria, how do you bring your product to Monrovia if the road is as bad as it is today? You can't achieve that.
So how is the president?
I'm coming to that point. So a lot of progress is being made to make sure that before the president ends his first term, there will be paved road from here to the southeast through Nima, Nigeria, and Maryland. Today we have the road from Maryland to Fishtown. We have Nampa Fishtown to coming towards Kaweke. And I don't know, Dilibo somewhere. I don't know the different town name, but the public works minister tell me it's coming. Now let me tell you the good news. The good news is the president has been able to secure some of the funding to begin the road from Zredru next year to Tapita. As you know, under the UN, under the World Bank arrangement, the road from Ganta to Tapita should start anytime early next year. Because of the COVID, we have some delay, 2-month delay. It should have started December of this year, but because of the COVID, we have 2-month delay. So we are assuming it will start early February, next January or February. So that road should end by 2023. The road should be in Tapita. Okay. And the road from Grand Gita, Zredru to Tapita should also start next year. So before 2023 ends, that road should connect. And also the good news is a 13 million has been found to begin the road from Zredru to River G. So that road is going to be connected. Once you achieve that, for the president, if he achieved that during administration, I think he's successful because he would have connected Liberia. Now we are talking about the road going to Lofa County. His determination is the road will get to Bonyama. Even if not get to Bonyama, for the first time, and will be close to Bonyama. Then we can take the road from Bonyama to Menikoma. When you connect that, my brother, if you go to the farm, you don't even want government job. You won't go make farm. Because this time you make farm, because the road connectivity, you can get your produce to the market the same day. But the way you're looking, my brother, I don't care you spend $200 million, for instance, in Lofa, in Kulahu or in Foya, and you want to bring it to Monrovia, you will not get it to Monrovia, especially when the rain season comes. That $200 million will vanish and go, you will not make money.
I hear you make a lot of improvement, sourcing funding, Tapeta, Zredru, Banga, Menikoma. You still being questioned about the coastal side, coastal highway.
People got to understand vision.
Where do we?
People got to understand vision. You see, people don't understand, that limitation language. When somebody says coastal, they say that the car room park on top of the water until it reach to the southeast. But most of the countries are coastal countries, correct? So there are 2 corridors that we are looking at. The first corridor is to get a road through Nima, because you have more population in that range. Nima County don't have almost 500,000, have 1 million people going to Zredru. So if you get a road through Nima, you got to first of all look at the population size. If you get a road through Nima to Zredru, you've targeted at least 70% of the people have access to the road. Now the second corridor is to get a road through Grand Bazaar, because those are coastal counties. To get a road through Grand Bazaar to Sino to Barclayville. That project has also started. It said will it be completed before the end of the president's first tenure. It's not possible. You can't build a road in 3 years That's about 350 kilometer road. It's not possible for us to build it in 3 years' time. But is it possible that the president can complete it before he leave, before his second term finishes? I think so. But the project started. We already have the first $50 million to begin the project from Barclayville. So the road is coming. So progress is being made. So when somebody says this is my vision, the president didn't say I will complete it tomorrow. People always asking, all the road on there. So they expect the road to be fixed today.
So you see, those
so
are some of the promises
it's not
people,
possible. But the promises is being committed on.
People are beating the administration on those things
No,
because
it's the opposition.
they are assuming
that misrepresentation of the facts.
They are misrepresenting the facts.
Yeah, because the road has started.
Okay.
If I say I will do something, we got to start. If I tell you we'll build a house, it doesn't mean I will just bring the house and put it down. How we started. Let's go to 14 Military Hospital. People doubted 14 Military Hospital. Some of the patients now who are in 14 Military Hospital were saying, well, what the men doing building Military Hospital? Military Hospital are important. But today we've seen the importance of the military hospital. We've seen the importance. So is the president going to achieve that? Yes, he is. The president is going to achieve that. The president is going to achieve that. Has he started? Yes. The president started. Look at the rural housing, changing the condition of poor people. On top of some mattresses, these are things. Take poor men from the ground and get them. The president said, look, when I was in the interior, I was sleeping in a mall house. I don't want to be in mall house. My people who got to try. What you do it for the 5 million people is not possible. But as he made effort to at least show a sign, when other president would make maybe 11 years because the president's second term it will be for 5 years because the president's campaigning now to reduce the presidential tenure to 5 years and 6 years too long, senator to 9 years. I think you're going to see the president start a campaign very soon to reduce the tenure of office. But after 6 years or 9 years or 11 years from now, Liberia should change considerably. Liberia should change. Liberia should not look like you to travel to the southeast. You should not take 2 days. You should be able to take at least 1 day, few hours, and get to the southeast because you have paved road. More people go back home. Look at where I live. Nobody wanted to live on this avenue, but today you see the place paved. People are building their homes. Properties owners are coming. So now they pay the front view. So similarly, when the road from Monrovia to Ganta to Yekepa to Sanikule to Lokatuo, the road going to be paved. Monrovia to Ganta to Tapita to Zredu. People going to go back home because you can live in Zredu and come to Monrovia and work. You can live in Nima and drive to Monrovia and work. So nobody will want to be living in Monrovia. Monrovia will get decongested and people will go back home. People will come and do something. That's how we change the country.
There's a whole lot of
subtopics on our plate that I'm sure I'm going to hold you here for a while. But before we even go further, why has it taken this administration this much in terms of the ability? You hear again the opposition, people within the government circle, people out there. They've asked this question, and I'm not sure we've gotten an answer. Why this administration having called for an audit of the past administration?
There are other reports. There are other reports, current audit report that we are looking at. Sometimes people just think when you say audit, you start arresting people, jailing them. So
maybe that's what they want to see.
No, but the first thing,
we can just audit.
You know, you can audit everybody and arrest them, put them in jail. The first thing, the legal process in this country is very cumbersome. You're not just going to arrest somebody, put them in jail. You got to go through a legal process. They're going to be challenged here and there. What you want to do is what's going to change the lives of the people. You want to punish people, but at the same time, there are other people who want their condition to change. The other thing can be going on, but you got to change the condition of people. That's what you got to focus on. So the government is looking at everything. The legal process is there. So that's not priority to say we'll change your country. Yeah, you got to fight corruption. You got to go after people. But let me tell you, right now, even you arrest them, but they were both witch hunting. You know, many times police say that witch hunt. So the police who say you witch hunting. You're witch hunting because you think you're going after poor people. But you got to get the facts. So when you're in government, you know that you don't just go beyond people because people perceive somebody to be corrupt. But if you can establish actual corruption, then there's no need to go after it. You may believe that there is corruption, but if you can establish it, because this is a country of law. It's not a country of perception. where you think, or you don't find people guilty because legally not. I know public can find you guilty because how they perceive you. But you are the authority, you don't find somebody guilty because you, the authority, believe that the person is corrupt. You got to be able to prove beyond reasonable doubt that that person has committed a crime, and you can go on there. So looking at all the documents that are available, those who are responsible are going through it. We still get more time to look at them. So not that today you sit in office, you start arresting people, putting them in jail. Because if you start arresting people, say you're violating people's human rights. So you got to meticulously deal with everything legally and say, what is it that we can do? How can we impact the lives of the people? So let's focus on doing for the people. Because look, you may serve 1 term, you may serve 2 terms, but you want to change people's condition. So we need that kind of power to be running after people. We need the power to correct the wrong of the past and to make sure we do our best to do what is right, so that those who come after us can build on the foundation that we are living. But you can start prosecuting people now. You can also prosecute people even at the end of the administration. So it doesn't really matter when you start, but you want to make sure you do it right. You want to make sure you have all your evidence is very right. Then you can go after people. So you don't have to be the first. You can do it now. You can do it in the end. So you have the latitude to do it anytime that is appropriate. But you got to look at what is a priority for you now in terms of what the people need, the bread and butter issue, and start running on a long, prolonged litigation. You file complaint, somebody come by and file bond. The kid waiting for another term of office. Yeah. Waiting for another term of office. Yeah. You can't waste your time on that forever and forget about the people suffering.
Okay. So another hurdle that you've managed to pass over is this issue of salary. Civil servant, people in government. It was a very tough fight. You had people without pay for months.
Yeah, that was tough.
The president came out, made some very strong commitment, and it's like you've managed to ease that path. It even was perceived to be the attribution for the party of the day losing out in a very major election. Now you've settled the issue of salary in the midst of these difficult times. How do you intend to continue that process?
Well, we do what we're doing. You know, again, thanks to the leadership of the president and to the ministers, Minister Weah, to everyone, to our international partner that we're doing. I know harmonization was a very tough thing. Toby, somebody making $5,000 and you decide you cut the party money. It's not easy, it's tough. But we had to do it because the period was overblown. And people did arbitrary salary for people. So we had to correct it. We want to thank the Liberian for their resilience to be able to understand that we have to make progress. I'm happy that today we have salary current. People are being paid. In other countries, doing this COVID-19, they are laying people out. And if you don't go to job, you don't get paid. But every Liberian who don't go to job, who work for government, they're taking their full salary. We're not even giving them this or percentage or anything. We're paying them. So we are thankful to God that we are able to do what we are doing. Toby, every time we get up, we pray to God that God will give us the courage and the wisdom to do what is right. It's not easy to lead people. Even in your home, there are tough times. Things can go very tough. I was listening to a pastor yesterday who was talking the story about Job. The story about Job, and he said Job was a servant of God who the devil tried to test, and God allowed the devil to put Job through a lot of tests to see whether he really believed in God. And Job lost everything. And he lost his son, he lost his family, he lost everything. His children died. Job got sick. He went through a tough, difficult time to see whether he would give up and deny God. But when he came through it, he said to God, I will believe you even more. This is the kind of situation you have as leaders. When the people decide to give you authority, you'll go through tough time, but you don't abandon them. When they're accusing you, they will not accuse anybody, they will accuse you. because you are the leader. They expect you to solve their problem. So you're not going to say, no, I'm giving up because people are accusing me, so I'm angry. You don't get angry. You keep trusting God and keep saying, yes, I have to do something to change the situation around. So that's the situation we've been in. We went through tough time, but we stayed there. You know, every day we get up, people look up to the president. You see people say a whole lot of things. But we're not going to get distracted. President said keep a focus, because when the captain is keeping his focus, the followers, we have to follow suit and keep their focus. Is it going to be easy? No, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough. People are going to criticize you every day. But you have to take courage from the criticism to do what is right, because you represent everybody. And people expect you for their life to change. Sometimes it can be funny to me sometimes when I say that people come to you and say, well, mama, they bring their personal problem. Even in their own home, their own field, they blame the government for it. Just something that they have personal control over. They blame the government for it. Even the government ain't got nothing to do with it. They'll still blame the government, blame the president. Even our friends in the opposition can even blame the president for their own failure. They think they're doing themselves that they have full control over. When they fail, this is the president responsible. But that is the mentality of our people. People blame the leader for everything. The leader has to realize that he'll be blamed for everything, but he has to keep his focus to do what is right. He will do some. Are we suggesting that the president is going to turn everything into bread and butter in this country? It's not possible. It's not going to happen in the next 50 years. There will always be challenges and problems, even with change of condition. But you have to do your best to do what is right, because you will serve and leave. If the president serves for 2 terms, he will leave. Somebody else will be the president. Trust you. You'll be saying that, people will be criticizing the same president. Some people will be singing. People did it to Jesus. Hosanna, Hosanna, they were saying crucify him. So if they did it to Jesus Christ, it's going to happen to every leader. People will criticize you. But people have to trust the leadership. When you vote for somebody, you have to get a chance. We did it when in opposition. We survived in opposition for 12 years.
How much more chance are you asking?
No, because every day there has to be change while you are serving, until you complete your tenure. Toby, it's not possible. I made you press secretary today. I tell you to change everything around today. It's not possible. But once you continue to serve, because I gave you a space of a latitude of say 6 years. I gave you 6 years. I say you have to achieve this in 6 years' time. I'm not saying you have to achieve it today. I'm saying in 6 years' time, you got to do these things. But 6 years not really, you say, why am I doing it? No, but I have a 6 year to do it. It's like a contract. It's like you're going to college or you're going to high school. You get, or you're in first grade. You have 12 years to complete college. If you, let me say high school. If you complete high school in 12 years, you're on time. If you complete it in less than 12 years time, it's even good. Then you have sufficient time to go to college and do something. So you're performing beyond achievement. So people expect that you do everything, but it's not possible. The normal thing is that I would take 1 year each to do what I was supposed to do in school to complete my high school. So the same thing with governance. The reason why they give you 6 years, because they know you can't do everything one day. You have to do it in 6 years to perform at least reasonably, achieve some of the things you want to do. For instance, President said, his legacy want to make sure at least since the last 170 years, people can drive to go to the southeast. They should be able to do that.
You want to see that happen?
You want to see that happen. If you achieve that, that would be a big achievement in his legacy. If you can get the RIA road ready, you know the RIA, how many people are down that road? Extremely people who can invest in that country, they don't even want to travel on that road because the road is extremely dark. People are afraid. If you can achieve that for him, that is an achievement. Liberian people remember him for that. You know what I'm saying? If we can get Liberians start working again, the president will be happy. Are we going to put all Liberians to work before that time? With the challenge of COVID and everything, it's going to be tough, but we're going to get there. Liberians have to realize that it's not only about going to government to work. The government is working to provide you opportunity to be able to come home and do something. If Liberian, each Liberian, it will pay more attention to the reason why agriculture is important and the road thing is important. President always say, look, Toby, if each one of us can make a farm and employ 10%, if you get 100,000 farms with 10% being employed, almost 1 million person, correct? So you put million people a job. So there are a lot of ways we can do it. We all just got to be determined to make it happen. And I don't believe that only the government can solve all the problems.
So in that direction, it would drive me into asking you, at what level is this government engaging partners out there? Because it's not just about the government creating a job, like you rightly said, in the circle of the government, but the private sector also means that partnership with government that will also bring about job creation. Your critics again think that you are not doing well in that direction. Maybe you would call them the opposition.
Well, you use the word more critics. The critics will always criticize because that is part of their function. I tell my friends, we don't expect the critics to praise the government because that will be a failure on their part. Mm-hmm. Their responsibility to continue to criticize us because they want to get where we are. But we're making progress. We are out there talking. We got to get reasonable people. Your people will come to you and say, look, give me a contract. I'll employ 30,000 person. You get a contract. They've been here for several years. They can employ 30,000 people, but they get commitment. So you got to find the right people. And because of the economic downtrend, more people are not coming, but they are making progress. The government is making progress. We're talking to people. For instance, there are a lot of negotiations going on to get the track from Guinea to Bikano. They're going to create thousands of jobs. They're going to bring a huge investment. We get more than 3, 4, 5 companies now. We have an agreement with Guinea to do the railroad and to do Guinean iron ore coming through Liberia. That's a progress. That's going to be huge revenue to the country. A lot of people are going to get jobs in the Bikano area. We're going to build a new railroad. We got about 3, 4 HPX and other Guinean companies are not coming. Those conversations are on the way. If we achieve that, I can tell you that will be a huge, huge success because a lot of revenue is going to improve, the country revenue is going to jump, and a lot of people are going to get jobs. But it's going to take a while to get there because these conversations are ongoing. There are other people who want to come do some manufacturing here. I sure after COVID, there are a lot of conversations. A lot of people were talking about, let me take even the Springfield now. There are people who want to come build, redesign Springfield so we can get aircraft coming in Monrovia. So a lot of things are happening and conversations are on the way. The government is totally engaged with a partner. Bilaterally, multilaterally, we are engaged. We're looking for direct capital investment in the country. So things are happening. Well, it's gradual. We know there's expectation. We want it to happen fast. If we have our own way, it will happen tomorrow, it will happen today. But we are getting there and progress being made.
How badly has COVID slowed down this administration? You were just about picking up the pieces, like you were just moving now. You just go through crowding, you just got on the field, you were just about moving. Oh, you got hit by...
Yeah, but COVID is not a Liberian issue. COVID
by the global pandemic.
Yeah, COVID, the whole world shut down. The whole world is shut down. The whole world. This is not but Liberia. The whole world shut down. So it affects the entire world. It affects everything. So all the countries in the world have gone back. So we're going to suffer, especially as a small country that are crawling. Imagine powerful countries that are already up there, they're down. Imagine somebody that was 10 feet high has fallen down almost 2 feet. Imagine you are not even the first feet where you're going to go because they're going to crush you. Everybody's going to go down. So the country has actually suffered. But again, Liberia would have been even worse. It would know how good leadership. We want to thank the help workers. We want to thank the president for his leadership. We can be able to come back quickly. But it's tough for everybody. It's tough for the whole world. But we're making some progress. You can see that we began to, because of our experience in Ebola, we're able by the leadership and direction of the president to begin to take some measures. Those measures, early measures, washing your hand and doing a temperature check at the airport, making sure we're checking people coming, we're able to reduce. Maybe the rate would have been very high in Liberia if we're not taking those initial steps. Liberia is the only country in the region that we're doing those things, and everybody operating in Liberia. But we're never going to be spared by the virus. The virus hit everywhere. So the virus, yeah. Again, we are trying to encourage our citizens to wear their masks, wash your hand, do your social distancing. Because the virus, yeah, is true. We should not overlook it.
So even in the mix of the virus, you've brought in state of emergency, you relax some of the restrictions. Now with that flight coming into the country, what are the strategies that will help to reawaken the economy so that the current situation will get much better?
Well, you know, so because we work as a team right now, the economic people are beginning to work. I mean, so finally we'll speak to them more along with the economic advisor. And once a framework is developed and presented to the president, I'll be able to speak mostly to that. But at this stage, we are just recovering. We have not started recovering. We're just trying to open up. You know, before we even opening out to the world becomes successful, everybody got to open up. Well, you know, there's a very strong measure at the airport now. When you enter Liberia, you have to get tested. You have to get tested. We don't bring a test result, so that we don't bring in more people who are sick and the disease will spread. And so, but that is going on successfully, I'm told. So, yeah, I'm sure the economic thing will present something to the president very soon. And once it's presented to the president, we can begin to see what needs to be done. You know, well, we've been successful. I think we have a very successful IMF program. The World Bank have been very helpful. The African Development Bank, the American Embassy through USAID. I think there's a program now that we are working with where we use it to see how we can help the vulnerable people, especially poor people, poor market people. Our success with the IMF have changed a lot of situations around, and even the issue of the project between Ganta and Toby, I was saying, we work with the World Bank to achieve that. So our partners have been very, very supportive. The Chinese have come in. We expect the 2 oil bridges. Those 2 projects would have started in November, I'm told, but because of COVID, projects have been delayed. And so we are looking forward to those major projects. Liberia is going to change considerably under this president. I have no doubt that before the president leaves power, Liberia will not be the Liberia you knew before President Weah came to power.
Is it going to ascend?
Liberia is going to change. You're going to see a lot of different things. Infrastructurally, you're going to see changes in this country. In developing human capacity, you're going to change it. We've already begun to develop human capacity, even locally. I just gave you the issue of the University of Liberia. University of Liberia of getting at least 8,000 people. I'm saying to you now, my understanding is we are close to 20,000 students now going to UL. So Liberians now have the opportunity to go to school, to go to University of Liberia. So when we were in school, we were paying $25 per credit hour, we couldn't afford. Imagine now somebody paying, I think, what, $5 per credit hour, or $1 per credit hour. I think $100 or something, I don't know, but they can't even afford. So by government intervening has made more Liberian young children to go to school. They say poor people children can now go and attain a college degree. Some of whom had to drop from university because they couldn't afford. So that's an achievement in itself. Okay. I don't know how our friends in the opposition can be angry because the president gave free tuition to students to go to university.
You see them angry?
They are angry. They criticize it. They criticize it. The only thing they do, they criticize it, they demonstrate. Are you will be demonstrating for people getting free school? Somebody going to free school, how can you criticize the president? How can you criticize the president for giving free education?
This is one thing, Mr. McGill, that have engulfed this administration. You got so much protest. You see anger in people.
No, people are not angry.
In the generation.
No, the people Liberian people are not angry. Liberian people voted overwhelmingly for this president.
It could not be the majority of the
No, because the people lost the election. You got to understand. You got to understand. 38% of the people voted against this president. Look at the 8% industry every day causing noise.
And they're angry people.
Yeah, because they have to be angry. They were in power for 12 years. They left power. They want to come back.
How sweet is this power? That people who were once friends are now enemies because their friends are in power. They are no longer there.
I mean, just my brother.
Power.
My man, Minister of State. You come to my house there. You see,
nobody
nobody knows. No, let's face the reality. This is the president. You go to the president, you see people. Anybody can come into the president house.
Yeah.
When you see that president, you can really think he's president. You don't think that he's president because nothing has really changed around him. He deal with the same poor people.
Yeah.
He see not the same people. But the other people who were president, you couldn't see them. The last minister of state, whoever be the minister of state, they could not see the minister of state.
I'm not sure that I didn't want to minister of state.
But you come to my house, you see poor people all over the place because I wanted them. So our friends were there, they know what they were doing, so they want to come back. So they just lie on you. They'll say, let's do demonstration. How can you be demonstrating? So your only achievement, the only achievement, you know, what really, I'm surprised that even Cummings, who allowed himself now, the guy is to the point that even Cummings himself now engaging, providing misinformation to the public. Because people are telling him, the only way you can be president is that you begin to lie. You begin to accuse the government. Just say any lie. All the president doing the poor corrupt. How can Cummings, Mr. Designer Cummings, who say he's educated, who say he work for Coca-Cola factory, and he was a big man, can accuse people with all facts?
Example?
So many things. The man, you know, accuse government corruption all over the place. Let's get an example of Israel, even the election. You want to the government say the government don't want to hold election until 2021. What a big lie. The president write and say I want to hold election in December day yet. But you go and say the president, what? So what's the basis? What's the basis of that statement? What did you see that you say no, they won't hold the government, they won't hold the election in 2021? The same government say they're proposing $10 million to hold the election, but you say they're not ready to hold election. That's a misinformation. All you want to do is incite the public to violence.
Are those incitement harming your operation?
No, but the question is not good for the country because you continue to lie. You can't continue to provide misinformation. All you want is violence in the country. Okay, let's assume we'll get you the presidency tomorrow. So people start demonstrating doing that. What you want? Is that the kind of example you want to set? That all we should do when we're in opposition is to continue to incite violence. People say, oh, CDC did it. That's not true. CDC, yes, did some, but CDC will never support it. The president now never supported anything by people who were in CDC who were trying to cause a demonstration. As a party, we never support. We are on record. When they call for early step down, CDC spoke against it. The president said condemn it. Yes, when we lost the election, we had grievances. We raised our grievances. Yes, CDC went in the street, but we never caused problem. People put tear gas here and there. I was chairman of CDC in 2005. But when you raise tear gas with people, you will always get people resist, and there will be small disturbances. These things will happen. But they say we'll continue every day. We won't call demonstration here because we're not happy. One lie to the people, just sit on radio and lie and mislead the public. That's not correct. Maybe to the extent that what is so bad is that even the leaders, the people who want to be president of the country, they are not engaged in themselves. They themselves are not engaged in spreading lies. At least their supporter can do it. But for the standard bearer themselves to be engaged in misinformation is hard for the country.
But this is one Liberia. So for us to move forward is for the ruling establishment or the ruling government to open more dialogue, conversation with those individuals. Have you talked to Cummings?
Of course. You know the president you will get. President has reached out to all the opposition leaders. Quite recently you saw President wrote them. Cummings wrote the president responded, President put on committee. They removed themselves from the committee. President reached out to you will get angry. So these guys are not willing for anything. They're not willing for dialogue. For them, their strategy is distract, mislead, and protest. For them, that is their achievement. We think we're going to follow them. They need to go ask President. They need to ask him about a playbook. How did he manage as an opposition leader to defeat the incumbent and become president? They need to ask him. There's a playbook. He will tell them. What do you say when you're using violence, you can come to power? They say you use gun. But democratically, people who have been engaged in leading problems in this country, nobody voted for them. You go see the record. All our big brothers that were agitating from 1979, you ever saw them get power? Yeah, Mrs. Sally won. She went to jail, yes. But she was not in the forefront of all the trouble. Yeah, people associated with Tatila. But I mean, the people who were really agitating not to power. Labrampo never get it. Labrampo not stupid. And nobody want to go to war. You have a friend that all day on radio, on TV, they just lie. Because when you lie, it's easier to say false information than to say truth. To say truth is difficult. But to mislead is easy to spread. You just gotta say Toby that roll. People start running behind you. Everybody start running here. Roll. Even though you not roll. And I was saying, people start running behind you. When people come in front of you, you know, some people be taking stay running behind you. Chasing you all over. Who they chasing, they don't even know. But because somebody have said Toby the road. So to say false information is true. It's easy. So our friends in the opposition, they want to try on that. They were there before, they didn't do much. Now that you're there, you're trying to do your best. 2 years they say, but the man feel it's impossible. Somebody paying.
Are you already tolerant with what all seems to be happening around? Some people think the president is not tolerant to criticism.
Why? The president tolerant, you see the thing happening. Doing our time, you know, I put the case in CDD. The president tolerant, you see all the funny demonstration. Most of them will be in jail by now. Every day you call the president. The amount of insult the president can receive.
But why?
Now the people can receive it. I see some of the church leaders then who say now, oh they themselves getting involved crazy. If you abuse someone, then will tell you they go come and see you. But when people call the president, they can talk. But when you call it, that's when you tell them, you know a bishop, you know, but you want people to respect you. But you don't want then you encourage people who disrespect the president of a country. Forget about the president who's in the position.
The government is less to go.
Of course. You can see them talk. Our church, some of our church leaders, you can see them talk. Some of our church leaders, some of them they will not let them come out and make it. But some of them are not helping. They're not helping. They in fact the worse than some of the people. Some of them I see them make
church leaders?
Some of them make some bad criticism. I said some of them made some bad criticism. I've been reading some of their comments. And this is very few, not much, but very few of them.
You need to mitigate that.
Yeah, but I mean that's their opinion. I'm not saying it with any. I'm proud to say what I'm saying because I see some of the comments that some of them make. They should be helping to guide the country because we listen to most of them. Most of them when they speak, some of our government officials will listen. Because every government official go to church, and you see your church pastor. Maybe if you say next to God because the pastor speak, you want to listen because the pastor speaking. But it's sad that some of our friends in the church community they don't help the situation. In fact, when people insult the president, you go tell them, they can be the first to call you. Why are you touching that person? But you say, but why are you doing to guide the society? Why are you doing?
Then based their rule, you think so?
Well, I think so. I know they come out and begin someone will come in and say, hey, criticize, why are you criticizing pastors them for? But that's the truth. I'm not criticizing all the pastors. There are very good pastors in this country who are praying every day for the country, who are condemning things that they need to condemn. If the government go wrong, they will call the government a book. If the citizen go wrong, they will call the citizen a book. There are pastors who are doing that, and that is good. But there are some of them, they encourage people to be insulting the leaders of the country. Some of them, they encourage people to be. In fact, they even join the process of singing the chorus. They say, "Government not doing that, government not doing that." When the government not doing anything, they're not helping, but they just criticize. I think that is wrong. You know, that is extremely wrong.
The Minister of State, stay here with us. We're just wrapping through a lot of different conversation around the country, and he's affording us the opportunity to talk to him a lot more. Let's talk across the other side of the governance of the country, how to do with the national legislature. You also take the shots. The president have made several appointments, some going through confirmation, some been very controversial.
That's the essence of confirmation.
Of late, one of it has been the boss of the LCC. Having heard you talked about it, I haven't even spoken to the president or his feeling about it. But let me hear from you as the man who is the channel, of most of these point of contacts between the executive, the president office, and the national legislature.
Well, I don't want to speak much about what is happening with the LCC. The LCC chairman was appointed, he has to take the job. There's a controversy regarding the citizenship issue. We're looking at that. But citizenship is an issue of law. So it's not an issue that you can just get out today, say the man today. So only the court can come out and establish citizenship. There are Liberian citizens who are citizens in America. We can't go say he's citizen in America. American people not say the man not citizen. So you have to establish or disestablish that the man not citizen before you can take action. Because of the issue of law, we can just get involved because this is a citizen. So if people who have proof that the man is not citizen of the country can prove it in court, then obviously we can take some action. But just assume because people are saying it, it's not something we want to do. But right now the thing is legal, so we're leaving it that way. With the Supreme Court, I think that he is going to the Supreme Court. We'll see what the court will say. On the political side, it's in the president's purview to we can fire him legally. We can legally fire him because if the president fire him, right now we got cases in the court because we fire some people who have tenure jobs and went to court and challenge your decision. So we're waiting for the Supreme Court to decide on the president's authority to fire people who have tenure position or how the president can dismiss the people. And when the court make a determination, the president will have a free hand to do it. A lot of people expect the president to fire the man now because people don't believe he's a citizen. It will be legally wrong for the president to do that because the president does not have the power to do that because that situation is currently being challenged by individuals who are in a tenure position before the Supreme Court. So we have to wait for the court to make a determination before the president. The president is a law-abiding person. We don't want to keep making those mistakes. But we'll see how it goes.
We got 2 more points to go, then I will allow us to wrap up with you. Before we take our last point, let's talk about the stimulus package. Stimulus package in the COVID delay, but finally you got it on course. How is it going correctly? What is the correct status?
Well, I mean, from my indication, because I'm not fully involved, I'm following. It was delayed because the IMF felt that World Food Program should lead this process. The government believed also that the World Food Program should lead this process. And the food program could not start until the IMF approved of the passage of the budget, which will come to Labrador, which was done sometime this month, June, or last month. We're in July now, correct?
Yes.
We're in July now, correct?
July.
Yeah, sometime in June. So the process has started, so there has to be a delay. On the LEC side, I think for the month of July, the Minister of Finance is working along with the Ministry of Energy to give government support to citizens for 1 month, which the government will assume the liability. So that is ongoing. In terms of paying the poor market people, some of the market women who have liability with the banks, the Minister of Finance are working on that. We're making some progress. We want to establish, especially for poor people, poor market people. Our poor market people who have liability with Asset Bank and the small bank, government trying to assume their liability so they can have access to new money. So we are working on that. We are looking at all the records. We're also working with USAID to see how we can deliver more money to the hands of poor market people. So those are part of the stimulus package, and I think those are ongoing and they are in progress. So I think we achieved that.
Okay, so how are you going to identify them?
It's easy. We're going to the bank. We'll see the threshold. We've already been to the bank, for instance. There are people who created $150 up to $500, $1,000, $3,000, $5,000. So we're looking at all the categories of exposure in terms of how much loan each person took. So we can look at the category. If you are taking $10,000 business loan, you're not too poor. You're not a poor person. You are in a different category. But people who are taking $150, $200 US, $300, $500. Those are people in the market. We're just doing a small business market. They are in the majority. They're the social club people. Exactly. And I'm saying we are looking at those category of people. Those are the real people who are suffering, selling coal, selling pepper, selling this, but they need money to do this one and some thing. We're not talking about somebody who take $50,000. If you're a $50,000 person, then you're a big person. You're doing a big business. So we'll put you in a different category. So it's easy to identify people because the bank has their record. Both the Asset Bank, Afri-led Bank have a record because they do a macro programs. And so we are going to them to find it. The records are available. You can go there and determine it. We're not putting money directly in somebody's hand to go and pay. We assume the liability for them. We just make sure we verify that the person actually owed the bank, and we can talk to the person, and the bank will give us the names of the individual. We can talk to them. They can bring that data. We'll open a database for them. We'll see it. Then we'll tell the bank Okay, government assume the responsibility. Don't go after the president again for any liability. The president will be open and will go back to the bank to take new loan. So that will bring more money in the market. So you're going to have thousands of persons in a category, maybe around 10,000 people.
Wow.
In a category.
Well, it sound very, very energetic. July is here already. 26 is just ahead of us. What is the administration planning? Do we have something?
Yeah, but I think there will be a small, low-key celebration. From what I'm hearing, there will not be a very big because of COVID situation. Okay. Yeah, and we got to do social distancing, and so I think there will be a low-key. But the Minister of Foreign Affairs, who's the chairman of the committee, have been instructed to develop a small program just for the celebration, just for the recognition of the day as an independent to be celebrated. But it will not be very expensive, be very low-key this year. Yeah, maybe president, depending on the nature, we'll see what the president can do. Maybe he can dedicate one or two projects, but they will not be as big as it was last year.
The president is not noted for dismissing people in his administration. I know he suspends a lot, that he dismisses people. Last evening, he took a very tough decision.
But he's a tough man. The president is a tough man. He does not compromise on misbehavior of the president's leadership. So if you misbehave, you'll be punished. So the president is very tough. When he's ready to take action, he takes action. And so he's sympathetic because he wants people to serve. But he's not weak in terms of taking action against people who are not doing what they're supposed to do. So the president wants discipline in the cabinet, and therefore people who go out of bounds will be disciplined. And so we want to encourage my friends in the cabinet. They have to work. The president always says that it's a football game. Be prepared. Be prepared anytime to play any wing. Be prepared to play any wing anytime. So we all got to be prepared. At some point in time, we don't have a job that we say we'll stay there for 6 years. But I'm quite sure sometime along the line there will be people going to other wing to play. I'm very confident that will happen. There's conditions who other people on the bench will want to come in. So if you're not performing, just make sure that somebody else on the bench will come in and play the game. So I warning them. I encourage my friends. They gotta play. They gotta up their game because it's possible that anytime anything can happen.
Before we go, maybe there's something we didn't touch that you want to speak out on. We'll take that in your final comments.
Well, basically, I always encourage Liberians that we know things are tough. We are grateful to them for giving us the opportunity to serve our country. And we'll continue to do our best until at such time when they decide that they need a new team of people to come and lead them. And so we'll just do what is right so that when we leave power, people can say, yeah, this is what it did. And that's more important than what we can get for ourselves. Nobody will believe it because, they may get this, but that's not the way. So I just want to say thank you. We want to encourage Liberians. We know this president will not let you down. This president will do what is right. You elected him, 14 candidates voted for him overwhelmingly, and we have no doubt that he will be re-elected again because he's doing what Liberian people asked him to do. Is everything going to be bread and butter? No. Are there going to be tough time? Yes, tough time will come. Are we going to overcome it together? Yes, we will. We will do. So I want to wish them well. I want to wish them July 26th, Independence Day. Wish you all the best. I pray that God will continue to protect every one of us and that will save us from this epidemic. Friends who are sick, I pray to God for their speedy recovery. I pray those who are sick with this COVID-19 and those who may have other diseases. We pray for their speedy recovery. We pray that all will be healthy. I was just joking. I said, make that put give me all that things I get about the talk. So I can understand, but we are getting there. I think the president is determined to lead, and I'm very pleased and humbled to be part of the president team. And part of a team, not just the president, but part of a team of men who have deep love for this country. And I have no regret. So I will work for him, continue to work for him. And I think when the president leaves, the president will be able to look back and point to something that he's done or that he did for this country. And that is the president's focus. And the president will remain focused in that direction.
Well, let me say thanks, Amida, to you for sharing our platform today. It's been a very wonderful time speaking to the Minister of State and, of course, Minister Nathaniel McGill, who's been sharing his thoughts on some of the national issue, prevailing issue in our country. We've touched a whole lot of different aspects of governance in our country. He's also the chief of the office of the president, giving us his view on some of the trending issues in our country. It's been a very hefty interaction. We haven't talked to the minister for a very long time. The team today is part of our usual team from the executive mansion. Isaac Kevin is in the back giving us a preach. Our man on camera is, of course, Olin Cooper. Until you see us again, maybe with another conversation coming from somewhere inside government. My name is Smith Toby, wishing you a pleasant and good day for viewers.